Well, welcome back to AdvocaSea. Thank you for joining me. I'm sitting down with Danielle, Chara, and Lacey. How are y'all doing?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Good.
Good. And I know you guys have already been in session this morning talking about things. Danielle, tell me a little bit about yourself and what you're doing in there.
Sure. So I am Danielle Brown. I'm the Vice President of Clinical Operations with I Am Biosystems. I am here just helping with these wonderful ladies, talking about ways that we can bring solutions to patients, break down barriers, advocate, find out how we can just change the world together and um, improve access.
Yeah, and you're having fun here so far?
Yes, this is a beautiful resort. It's greatly planned.
And the people are really cool?
People are really cool.
Yeah, these are your people, right?
These are my people.
Yeah. Chara, tell me what do you think about the AdvocaSea event so far? And we got kind of kicked off last night with a meet and greet, and now we're getting down to business.
Yeah, no, this is amazing. Chara here representing my organization, Pharmacist Women Networking Association. And I have truly enjoyed the partnership with AdvocaSea and Prescribe Plus. And the reception last night was amazing to get to know all of the wonderful, mostly women who are here,
Yes.
believe it or not, representing different organizations. And really the time we spent this morning got me so amped up and excited about our next really mapping out the maze session, because that section of the programming is truly going to help us sit down and do some deep dives into some of the things that we've identified this morning as challenges. And we're going to dive down with smaller groups to really think through what are some solutions. And I loved how Jonathan earlier talked about these. What are the quick wins? What are the intermediate wins? And what are the long-term wins? And for us to be able to break that down in smaller groups today is going to be really meaningful, because it is going to give us something to go back to work with or back to our organizations with on Monday that are our quick wins. What are just those really quick things we can implement right away? I'm super excited about. But again, we can never forget about the long-term wins. And what are the things that Prescribe Plus is going to tackle over the next year to really make sure that we are all advocating in the same and pulling in the same direction from all of our different perspectives.
That's great to hear. Lacey, welcome.
Hello.
Good to see you again. I know you very, very passionate about this. I remember the
am.
first time we met at the first Healthcare Advocate Summit.
I probably came at you for some reason. I'm not sure why.
No, but it was super fun. Tell me a little bit about yourself and what you're doing here at the AdvocaSea.
Yeah, so my name is Lacey, and I'm actually here representing the National Society of Medication Access and Patient Advocacy. And I just want y'all to know, behind the scenes, it's so incredible. This is a powerhouse of people back here. Every time we all get to come together, you could put us in a dark room and I would still feel empowered. But this is not a bad day at the office, right? We're at a beautiful place. Weather is perfect, and it makes everything just a little bit more wonderful. But in general, there's so many great conversations going on, collaborations. We're looking towards the future, and we're looking at how we're going to be able to make a difference. And I can't even tell you, the vibe is just top notch.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited. Like I said, I'm excited about every time we meet, but this one is just, we're hitting it. We're there. So super excited.
Awesome. Well, we're so glad you and the other folks came out to this event to network and to brainstorm and actually take action, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of benefit in the networking but planning it out, short term, medium term, long term. That's really the way you could go to actually making change, because it's difficult to keep the stamina up, right? So if you set those milestones, you set those gates, you can kind of pursue towards them.
Yep.
So, Chara, tell me a little bit more about your women's in pharmacy organization.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to be here representing Pharmacist Women. We are an organization started in 2018, so I can't believe it's 2026. So like in 2 years we'll be like at a decade, which is crazy. But it's really about helping women determine what it is they want to do in their career. And if you really think about it, we know that the way to get a job, and probably all of us have our job today because of a relationship that we created years before we even ever got the opportunity. And so I wanted to create a safe space for women to come together, build relationships, and network with each other. And we've had a lot of successes. And honestly, to tie this back to Healthcare Advocate Summit, 2 years ago at Healthcare Advocate Summit in Las Vegas, I got to finally meet one of the women that I helped in 2020 during COVID. And she walked up to me and she said, the relationships that you helped me create through your networking organization changed my life.
Yeah.
And she was in a role that better suited all of the needs for herself and her family. And that's what we're trying to do. And then beyond that, my ask to those women is to always reach a hand back. So if we helped you, then your goal is
Yeah.
to help the next person.
Right. You're
And
in the
how do-
club.
Yeah, you're in the club.
Yeah.
And how
Yeah.
do we create this like ripple effect of support for women that just need help? We're all getting through our days in different ways. We're all dealing with, some of these women are their moms, some are not moms, some are caretakers, some, have their own healthcare issues
Yeah.
or family healthcare issues. So how do we all support each other? Because at the end of the day, most of us all have to work. But
Yeah.
it makes life a little bit better if you have a job that fits your work-life balance, whatever that is,
Yeah.
and whatever that need is.
And Danielle, you said these are your people. Tell me how you got into advocacy and what really drives you, and gives you that spark to help the patients.
Yeah, I think I learned about Healthcare Advocate Summit from one of Elizabeth's posts like years ago, calling for abstracts for the Healthcare Advocate Summit in
Yep.
Las Vegas a few years ago. And I had submitted an abstract and she had posted about it and was like, this is the kind of abstract I'm talking about. And we connected. And then I realized like her and Melissa and all, we all have like the same mind of like helping people and just moving change forward and what that looks like. So connected with them at Healthcare Advocate Summit, formed a friendship. I did a lot of work around navigation and the PIN codes when those came out. And I got invited to the White House last year around the moonshot effort. And
Wow.
actually,
That's so cool.
Amazing.
kind of reaching back for other women, I brought Beth with me because she brought me through Advocate, this group. So I brought her with me and she and Melissa introduced me to people and I brought her with me to the White House and we kind of stayed in touch for the last couple of years through that. And really, it's just been a great friendship and a great meeting people and connecting in different spaces. So I'm just really just love making change and kind of fighting the system when there's a barrier. I look for ways to break it down. And I'm really happy now that I've been in the oncology space forever and just went with a new company, Ion Biosystems, and we have a remote patient monitoring device that is measuring patients' body temperatures for about 90 days. And we can see infections, sepsis, UTIs, URIs before they happen. And it's
Wow.
new in like this AI space. So just kind of joined the startup world, but it's always been advocacy in my background in my free time. So really taking those things I learned and now advocating for patients in that AI
Yeah.
startup prevention space now.
Yeah, well, that's the wave of the future, and
Yeah.
we're always pushing medicine forward.
Yeah.
And when we push medicine forward, we always have those barriers of approval, denials. It's like, a new way to do things, right? But patient outcomes are patient outcomes.
Yeah.
And so if this kind of treatment, this kind of stuff needs to be covered by insurance or
Yeah.
supported by the manufacturer, copay companies, can be a challenge
Yeah.
as we move into new spaces.
Yeah, so we've gotten FDA approval and we've gotten it covered by most insurers. So
Awesome.
it's been awesome, and we've been able to have a 92% mortality rate decrease for patients. So it's been really helpful to get new drugs approved because everyone wants to get their drugs through trial and lower toxicity rates. So it's been very helpful with that.
Wow.
And it's kind of just a new world for me. So now, but I also advocate. Do breast cancer awareness is kind of my other side passion, but.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot from Elizabeth and Melissa and PrescribeX and Medico, and just happy to be here with these ladies. And this group that's in this room, it's like a big think tank. And I've heard people float around the model of GSD, and we'll call it Get Stuff Done. And everyone is floating that around the room today. And
Nice.
it's a great motto. And I
Nice.
think everyone
Yeah.
in the room has that same motto today.
Yeah, and we have a mix of everybody here. You mentioned your oncology background.
Yeah.
Lacey, I know you come from a derm and allergy space.
Allergy, yep.
Allergy. So tell me a little about how you're still doing that after all this time. You're like kind of the go-to allergy person if you want to get stuff done.
That's very flattering. I appreciate you saying that. No, it's kind of the same scenario. I did happen to kind of fall into my role. When I very first kind of started out, I had a doctor who looked at me and said, I think you can do more. You know, she saw something in me I didn't, and I didn't want to. Same thing. You know, I was kind of like, that's a lot of paperwork. That's stuff that doesn't really float up my alley. I'm more like, you know, let's go, team. Let's you know, let's get behind the scenes and do some stuff. So basically, she just took a chance on me, right? And we built out a buy and build program that would just happen to be really successful. From that point, I moved more into the corporate world, and then, you know, Elizabeth said, "Hey, there's a job opening at where I used to work. Would you be interested in just talking with some people? I think that y'all would really get along." So I did, and I, you know, kind of fell into a higher corporate role, you know, or more offices, more patients, things like that. So that's what I do for my what we call 9 to 5, 9 to 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, your 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. kind of position. But that's my daily role. And I think that, you know, because of the people we meet here, because of all of us, that, like I say, the collaborations to me is huge. We want to work with people. And the more people you get under your belt, the more your circle tightens, things like that. You have the ability to reach out for help when you need it, right? So it's just the conversations that we keep going. There are things, I promise you, that I don't know. Most
I
of the
don't
time.
believe that, Lacey.
Yes,
No.
there are
I don't
things,
believe it.
There are things I don't know, and that's where I'm not afraid to pick up the phone and call somebody, right? So we use these people here, and these are I will say, I think that we have gathered some of the best in the business, and so we just kind of keep moving step by step.
I like how they say
Awesome.
return on relationships.
Exactly,
Yep.
the ROR.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're so glad that you're here. And I know they're calling you back in to get back to the putting pen to paper and making things happen. Thank you for
Yeah.
brainstorming. I appreciate you being here and sitting down with me today.
All right, thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Matt.
Bye.
Bye.